Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are so.
It is a big baseball weekend in Atlanta for the New York Yankees. Have invaded the heart of Dixie. Nick Swisher, a former Yankee. Mr. October, Reggie Jackson is here as the young Braves take on the second-place New York Yankees in Game 1 of our three-game set here in Atlanta. It's also a special homecoming for former Brave Brian McCann. His first game in Atlanta as a member of the Yankees, and Brian McCann is having a great 2015 season. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip. Welcome to this special night of Braves baseball. Let's see if the Braves can play the role of the spoiler against the New York Yankees, a club that's only a game and a half out of first in the AL East, Joe. But the Yankees are slumping, and it's easy to put your finger on exactly the problem.
Yeah, the Yankees will be the first of several teams that the Braves will face over the last 5 weeks, where the Braves have a chance to put a dent in any postseason hopes those teams have. But for the New York Yankees, a team that's second in the majors in hitting and fourth in the majors in home runs, have really had a bad August. A losing record, the lowest batting average in baseball. Only a couple of guys really doing much, and that's Beltran and McCann. But the Yankees have never lost a series at Turner Field in interleague history. That's 4 different series they've won. If you want to look at a positive, they've lost 7 of their last interleague games.
And Williams Perez hopes that trend continues. He'll face Masahiro Tanaka in Game 1 of a big weekend of baseball here in Atlanta. Will take the ball for the Braves, and he faces the Bronx Bombers tonight.
Boy, Williams would like to go back to those numbers what he had before he got hurt, when he got hit on that line drive in Pittsburgh. But since then, it has been a real struggle. .322 average against him since. His Braves, his 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Number 1, the left-handed Bombers. The left-handed hitters for the Yankees have hit more homers than any other team among left-handed hitters on that team. And 130, well, that's not the starting time. That's his first 30 pitches of a game are always indicative of his success. And that's when he gives up big numbers and most of his runs in the first 30 pitches of his game.
And that plays right into the hands of the Yankees, Joe, a club that usually gets off to a very fast start offensively. And their offense paced by Jacoby Ellsbury, who leads off and takes a ball high. Ellsbury hitting .278, 6 homers, 27 runs batted in. And on an 82-degree night, Perez turns it loose, and a fly ball hammered towards center, but playable for Cameron Maybin, who has it, and there's out number 1. As Joe mentioned, the Yankees are not swinging the bats very well right now. They've lost 7.5 games in the standings, and they are missing some big pieces. Obviously, with the DH out of effect tonight, no A-Rod. Mark Teixeira's not able to go with a bad shin. And essentially, the Yankees are playing with a 2-man bench for Joe Girardi. That's a big problem when they get into National League play. We'll see how it plays out over this weekend in Atlanta. So here's Brett Gardner, the left fielder, at .273. He's got 12 homers and 54 knocked in. First time All-Star. And a strike, says Dana DeMuth.
He's one of the guys struggling. 0 for his last 13.
And a line drive to short. Simmons to his right makes the play. 2 outs. You mentioned the buzzsaw that the Yankees ran into with the Houston Astros. The Astros since August 4th have a .206 team ERA. Their starting pitching's been excellent. The Braves hope Williams Perez can pitch as well tonight. Here's Beltran. He takes a strike.
Sinker, slider, changeup for Williams Perez. Changeup, in my opinion, probably his best pitch when it's on.
And a line drive by Carlos Beltran, who's the hottest hitter on their club. So he has an 11-game hitting streak now. And he's aboard for Brian McCann, and you know the crowd will greet him warmly. A tip of the cap from the former Brave catcher and now current Yankee. And he's having a terrific year, not just at the plate, Joe, but as you pointed out before the game, behind it too.
Yeah, he's throwing out a lot of base stealers. 39% on the year. He's got 22 homers, 75 driven in. Last year in his first year with the Yankees, 23 homers and 75 RBIs. So he's going to blow right by those numbers.
Outside, 2 balls and a strike. This has to be emotional for Brian McCann. First time back as a former Brave in this ballpark.
What did he play here? 9 years? You bet. And was a crowd favorite because he's a local guy.
Part of the wave of baby Braves that he discussed in our pregame show a moment ago. Leads all catchers and homers this year in the big leagues. And Bethancourt, a nice stop. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
.277 career hitter with the Braves.
Beltran leads from first, and
There he goes, and it's ball 4 outside. So a single and a walk brings up Greg Bird, who's filling in for Mark Teixeira at first base.
Well, he got 2 outs, albeit on 2 hard hit balls. And then the single and the walk. He's only at 13 pitches, but you understand what we're talking about and how the first 30 really dictate Williams-Perez night.
Greg Bird hit 12 homers between AA and AAA this year. He knocked in 56. And this is what has happened to many a major league pitcher when they've faced Joe Girardi's club in the early going.
More runs than any team in baseball in the first.
Bird hit his first big league homer 9 days ago. That came against the Minnesota Twins. He has 2 for the year. And Perez missed outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
One of the things we talked about with Williams since he's come back is his lack of pitching inside, the left-handers especially. That changeup is so good, but it's not as effective when left-handers can hang out over the plate to get it. PNC Bank Fox Track shows you Dana DeMuth helped him out a little bit there.
Bethancourt held it, didn't get that call. Now it's 3-1. Chase Headley's on deck. He's the 6th place hitter and the Yankees' 3rd baseman. No DH for this weekend series. Playing National League rules. Alex Rodriguez relegated to pinch hitting. And they're loaded. All of his trouble coming with 2 out. Back-to-back walks after the Beltran single up the middle.
I don't really feel like there's any pitcher of any style, whether you're a power pitcher, whether you're a sinker ball pitcher, whatever it is, if you don't pitch inside at this level in this league, you're not going to succeed. Because if everything is away, hitters can really take advantage. And it's very hard, especially the way Williams' pitches move, to hit that outside corner consistently.
Williams has had first inning trouble. That goes to Joe's 30 pitch number that he spoke of a moment ago. And now you've got real trouble because Chase Headley this year is 7 for 10 with the bases loaded and 13 RBIs. And 3 of those hits have come with 2 outs. And Williams is missing badly to the arm side.
But this is also where the Yankees have really scuffled lately. They were 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position against Houston in the just completed 3-game series. And since August 5th, they're hitting under 200 in this situation. I don't know how aggravated Roger might be on this visit, but it might be kind of a fact-finding mission as to, you know, what are you doing? Because this is not perhaps something they've been working on to try to establish inside. I can't be for sure about that, but that would be something I'd want to know if I were Roger.
So no place to put Headley, who's ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Beltran, McCann, and Bird are the base runners. 2 quick outs, but a single and back-to-back walks for New York. And that caught a corner, even count. Chase Headley lives in Braves country in the offseason. He lives in Franklin, Tennessee. Yankees got him from San Diego for Yangervis Solarte and a minor league pitcher. Perez is back ahead of him.
Yeah, 93 in on him. That's an incredible number. Very good number for him.
One ball, two strikes for the switch hitting Yankee third baseman. And it's outside. 2-2. You oftentimes don't have the luxury of easing into your start when you face the Yankees. But Perez a pitch away from getting out of a first inning jam.
But he got those first two outs pretty quick. I wouldn't think that a 2-out single by Beltran would have shaken him up that much, where he was trying to be pinpoint.
Fly ball, well hit. Maben on the run, still going, can't get it. It's up and over the fence on a bounce. Huge break for Atlanta. It's a ground rule double for Headley. And the Yankees do what the Yankees do. They score 2 here in the first inning with 2 outs and lead 2-0.
Change up, going away, and you're right, Chip. That saved a run, at least for the moment.
So the 2 walks brought up Headley, who continues his torrid pace with the bases loaded. He drives in his 51st and 2nd runs, and it brings up Didi Gregorius. Missed. Ball 1.
Gregorius had the only home run hit by the Yankees in that series against Houston.
Fly ball, well hit right. Markakis will turn, and that one's going to go. Didi Gregorius has hit a 3-run homer, and the Yankees, with 2 outs and nobody aboard, have scored 5 runs.
Inner third and down. So Didi Gregorius is now their big slugger. Left-handed bombers.
A stunning turn of events in Atlanta. 2 outs, bases empty. And the Yankees have 5 runs on 3 hits. And now Stephen Drew is in the batter's box. Swing and a miss. 110 homers by left-handed hitters. Not surprising, Joe. The ballpark in which they play is tailor-made.
Sure is.
For the lefty bats.
Yeah. No cheapie there, though, for Gregorius.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Stephen Drew. And that's over the inside corner. And that retires the side. Perez could have used a few more of those earlier in the inning. The Yankees plate 5 for Tanaka, who goes to work next.
Braves baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
The Braves have spotted the Yankees 5 first-inning runs. So let's see what Atlanta's lineup can do against Masahiro Tanaka. Nick Markakis, the hottest Atlanta hitter, has seen the Yankees a lot. Hopefully he can get things started against a man that is awfully tough when he's right. And Joe, he's rested. Tanaka pitching on 6 days rest tonight.
Yeah, he came off the disabled list and pitched a pretty good ball game against Cleveland, but he got beat. And the start before that, he had pitched a 9-inning gem, gave up only 1 run. So Tanaka's tough. He's got a great split finger pitch that he throws almost as often as a just regular fastball. Fastball split, slider curve. He'll even throw a cutter off his fastball, which is 91-94.
Might recall we saw Tanaka in our first spring training telecast back in Orlando. Yep. And the real concern that the Yankees have about Tanaka is he's been pitching with a partially torn elbow ligament. And they have been very, very careful in how they manage his workload. As Markakis rips a leadoff single to right. See if the Braves can answer here in their half of the first inning. For Tanaka and the other players who have pitched in Japan, the biggest adjustment for them is the workload. Over here, you pitch every 5th day. In Japan, it's every 6th day. Not to mention, the baseballs are different. Smaller baseballs in Japan than here. So all of those things have contributed to some of Tanaka's elbow woes. So he's immediately in the stretch as Nick Markakis leads off. Here's Maben.
That's not unusual when Nick plays against the Yankees. A .300 career hitter against him.
Ball one outside for the Braves center fielder, hitting .276, 10 homers and 52 driven in.
Stephen Drew playing way up the middle for Cameron. Huge hole on the right side.
Ball 2.
Tanaka's just 26 years old, 6'2", 210. Signed a long-term contract with the Yankees, but there's an out clause in it in 2017.
There's a good fastball. Maben took it. 2 balls and a strike. Well, the Yankees had talked about maybe a 6-man rotation earlier in the spring. Downstairs. We'll see Luis Severino here tomorrow night. Nate Eovaldi on Sunday. The Yankees, though, bad news. CC Sabathia. They don't know if he's going to pitch again. Bad knees for the Yankee left-hander. 3 balls and a strike. And that's high and away. 2 on, nobody out against Tanaka.
Well, it's been a while since the Yankees have scored 5 runs, let alone 5 in the first. So the last thing what they want to see him do is walk people, and he normally doesn't walk very many people. Just 23 for the year in 114 innings coming into the game. However, that's actually more than he walked all of last season. He only walked 21 all of last year.
How many innings was that last year for him? Do you remember? Off the top
180, I think.
Wow. That's amazing.
I'll double check that.
2 on for Freeman, nobody out. Modified shift for the Yankees, and that's taken low, and McCann will go to the mound. The reason I ask, for a guy that throws a split finger pitch, it's usually not a strike. He has to rely on a lot of chases to avoid those bases on balls.
136, I was off.
But still, that's awfully impressive. A hit and a walk starts the Braves first. Nick Swisher's on deck. 2 balls, no strikes. Ground ball. That's going to sneak through for a hit. Here comes Markakis around third. He will score without a throw. And the Braves have answered with a run of their own in the bottom of the first inning. It's 5-1. Maven all the way around to third. Freeman's 48th RBI.
Freddie needed that. Went out around a fastball away from him and pulled it through the hole on the right side. Picks up his 48th RBI and may have been able to go to third because Beltran did not come up ready to throw.
So former Yankee Nick Swisher will dig in. 1 in, 2 on, nobody out in the Braves first. He had a good cut, fouled it back, strike 1.
Nick was out for some early batting practice on the field today with Johnny Gomes and Christian Bethancourt. Some extra swings.
Fly ball center. That's playable for Ellsbury. He's got it. Here comes Maven. The Yankees will concede the run. Sac fly for Swisher. It's a 5-2 game. 11th RBI for Nick.
It's a nice answer so far, and they've still only got 1 out. So see if you can get another one in.
Adonis had a big night here Wednesday against Colorado. 3 hits, including a homer.
Like a good slider.
And nothing in 2. 6 homers for Garcia. A lot of power the other way.
Sorry, Chip. The Yankees obviously like to have a double play ball, but they've got Gregorius way over in the hole. Well, actually normal shortstop position. It's where they've got Stephen Drew cheated near the bag at second that creates that huge hole. And they know Garcia from being in their organization, so they just apparently expect him to pull.
One ball, 2 strikes. Little tapper toward Headley at third. He's going to watch it roll foul at the bag.
No chance at first. Only choice he had was to let it go. Good look at the cut of the grass too. Boy, infield grass looks great for this time of year. Good work by Ed Mangan and the boys. Very nice.
Two and 2. Christian Bethancourt hoping to hit here in the first. He's the 7th place man tonight. And that got a piece of McCann. He couldn't hang on. It's still 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the air to left. That's going to get down for a hit. 3rd hit of the inning for the Braves. Freeman to second. Still 1 out.
Stay hot, Adonis. Breaking ball. Somehow able to reach it and pull it as they expected.
So 2 in, 2 on, 1 out for the Braves second baseman Jace Peterson. Tanaka has not looked crisp so far. And that's in for a strike. It's 0-1. That's Larry Rothschild, the Yankees pitching coach. New York scored 5 in the top of the first. The Braves have a 2-run rally in the bottom half. And just like that, it's 0-2. "30 years ago, the split-fingered pitch was a big pitch throughout Major League Baseball. Not that many guys throw it much anymore. Tanaka has perfected that pitch, as Joe said. Let's see what he has in mind. 0-2.
Throws it about 31% of the time. That was 1.
So what's the secret to hitting that pitch?
Making him get it up. Don't go after anything that starts at the knees typically. And he's been throwing his fastball, trying to throw his fastball low to make you realize he can hit that lower part of the zone and set up swinging at that split when it sinks from that point on the future pitches.
So that splits a pitch that he doesn't want to throw for a strike, but get strikes with it.
Correct. And you've got to, it's hard to lay off because it's hard to, as we saw with John Smoltz in his excellent split finger pitch, it's a hard pitch to recognize right away coming out of the hand.
2-2 count. Fly ball center. Ellsbury retreats, and he's going to have room to make the grab. Freeman's going to tag at second. He's going to move to third. The Braves are running on Ellsbury in center field. Peterson flies out. First and third, 2 outs, and Christian Bethancourt is coming up. Well, the Yankees got a couple of big 2-out hits. Let's see if Bethancourt can provide one for Atlanta. Be a nice run to pick up from third base here.
No kidding. That'd be great.
And a strike. Christian's looking for his first base hit since he was brought back from Gwinnett. He had a good run at AAA. Hit .327 in 52 games. And it's quickly 0-2.
Brian McCann moving over to the Yankees as a free agent. As a manager, there was an outstanding defensive catcher in Joe Girardi, so he's got a good tutor over there if he needs some help.
Fly ball center. Ellsbury going back. He's still going back. He's still going back, and he got there on the track. What a catch. Bethancourt hit it a mile, but Jacoby Ellsbury on the warning track robbed him and saved a couple of runs. Atlanta strikes for 2 in the bottom of the first. It's a 5-2 game. For the heroics of Jacoby Ellsbury.
Ball jumped off Christian's bat, and keep in mind Ellsbury's not played in this ballpark too much, so he didn't really know how close he was to the wall. He just knew that it was closing in on him, so as he makes the catch, he's trying to go softly into what he thought might be the padded wall and save Tanaka 2 runs.
Ellsbury's got a Gold Glove, and his fielding percentage is the best among Major League outfielders since 2007. He has not committed an error this year. He's due second for the Yankees. Masahiro Tanaka will lead off. Tanaka is 0 for 2 at the plate. Perez got the first 2 outs very quickly in the opening inning. Three hits, 2 walks followed with 2 outs, and New York scored 5 times. Chopped out towards second, and Jace Peterson's got it. There's out number 1. Let's take a look at our Atlanta defensive lineup tonight, presented by CPI Security. Swisher, Maven, and Markakis ring the outfield. Bethancourt and Perez the battery. Garcia and Freeman the corner infielders. Simmons and Jace Peterson are up the middle. Beautiful night. Sunset with a pinkish orangish tint tonight.
That's what I thought.
Ellsbury flied out to center his first time up. Ball, no strikes.
Christian may be asking about that changeup, and there's been a couple of those already, if not three, that have come out of his hand almost sideways. Haven't been anywhere near the plate.
Swing and a miss.
Good breaking ball.
Ellsbury out of Oregon State. Was a Boston Red Sox performer. Broke in with Boston in 2007. After the 2013 season, the Yankees signed him to a 7-year contract. Last year, Ellsbury hit 16 homers, scored 71 runs, played 149 games.
If you can keep him on the field, he'll put up big numbers for you. He's a good player.
He's been DL'd 3 times with fractured ribs. He's dislocated his shoulder. And he'll hobble around after fouling that ball off. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's had a DL stint this year with his knee. And injured his hip the other night trying to make a catch. That was a change up. It looked like it got mostly shin guard. Yay, inside.
He's trying to get it there, isn't he?
A couple of times. Ellsbury was putting up some good numbers before he hurt his knee on May 20th, but went on the disabled list on May 20th. But look at the difference in on-base percentage since then.
Swing and a miss. Ellsbury's down on strikes. Second strikeout for Perez. And 2 are out. Here's Brett Gardner. Gardner's out of the College of Charleston. Lives in Holly Hills, South Carolina in the offseason.
Braves have the corners in on him because he has more bunt hits than anyone on the team. 6.
Popped up. Simmons gives chase, spot. Oldham play. 1-1.
He's another guy that's had his share of injuries, though. I mean, he broke in with their club as kind of the 4th outfielder. Always put up good numbers whenever somebody needed a rest or got hurt. And then worked his way into an everyday spot.
As he can run, he's a different dynamic for the Yankee ball club. Not a big bopper, but a man that can score you runs with his legs. A little ground ball, foul at first. In fact, Gardner entered this season 9th on the Yankees all-time stolen base list with 182 of them.
No kidding.
I didn't know that either. Yeah, they didn't call them the Bronx Swipers. They call them the Bronx Bombers, for crying out loud. So you're under 200. You're in the top 10. That tells you all you need to know about how they play. 1-2 pitch is right back where it came from and into center field. Perez reached for that ball with his pitching hand. Luckily, it missed. And Gardner has his first hit.
Change up that he left upstairs. Probably wasn't even a strike. This is where he ran into trouble in the first inning. 2 out, nobody on. And the Yankees got 5.
Hard to believe that Carlos Beltran is 38 years old. Seems like yesterday he was just breaking in with Kansas City.
How many career hits does he have?
Let's see. How many does he have this season?
95.
All right, so he's at 2,420, something like that.
Is that right?
Yeah. He's got another year on his contract. Braves know all about his 2004 Division Series work. 5 games, 10 hits, 9 runs, 4 homers, 9 RBIs against the Braves.
They weren't the only team he picked on that year.
No. He had 4 homers against the Cardinals in the LCS in 2004. And then in 2005, he went to the Mets. Had 4 really good years in New York. Fly ball right. Markakis can't get that. He'll play it on a hop, and the Yankees have back-to-back hits again with 2 outs.
Well, we've moved past the 30 pitch mark. But the bad mistake on the changeup that kept the inning alive. And then that pitch looked like it was hit off, may have even broken the bat of Beltran, but it dumped in there for a hit.
You know, you're right about the 30 pitch thing. I had Gretchen look it up for us, and Andy over to your right. After the home run by Gregorius, that was the 25th pitch of the inning. So he's past the 30 pitch mark, obviously. He's at 50, but in some trouble here with 2 outs.
That's a lot of home runs allowed early in the game.
And the bullpen's already working for the Braves.
Well, when you come back and you get 2, had a chance to get more if it weren't for the great catch by Ellsbury. It's Russ Detweiler, who has some experience starting. You don't want the game to revert back to what happened in the first inning. Your offense is trying to get you back in it.
And maybe Detweiler's a guy that can neutralize those left-handed bats that you talked about too.
Right.
McCann walked and scored his first time up. Gardner and Beltran are the runners. Gardner runs well. Beltran not so much anymore. The pitch. Missed down and in. 3 balls and a strike.
See, like that pitch, the first pitch of the at bat is better. Better than to set up any sequence after that. If you throw that first pitch in there to keep them honest, at least it makes them aware that you will come in.
And McCann walks again. And the Yankees again load him up with 2 outs.
The normally patient, calm exterior of Freddie Gonzalez, not so patient and calm looking right now. Nope.
So looks like this is going to be the end of the line for Williams Perez, who has not been the same guy since he was hit on the foot in Pittsburgh. Williams Perez, riding a 4-game losing streak, has now allowed 31 runs in his last 31 innings. 5-2 Yankees.
Roofers, Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
Still a manageable game here in Atlanta. It's 5-2 Yankees, but for the second straight inning, they have loaded the bases with 2 men out. So it's Ross Detweiler on for the 19th time, and he's got the left-hand hitting Greg Bird getting ready to stand in.
These are Ross's numbers with the Braves, and they've been very good against left-handed pitching. His last start in the big leagues was May 14th against Kansas City, and since then the longest stint he has had in any outing out of the bullpen was 2 1/3. So he'll be asked to carry some load here early on, but should be up to the task in terms of his arm being able to do that.
You saw Williams Perez in the Braves dugout. One would think you'd have to be concerned about what's happened to him since he was injured in Pittsburgh. He's not the same guy.
You know, he's lacking confidence, I think. He was such a bulldog out there before he got hurt. He leads the team in hit batters with 8. He pitched inside. He used that changeup effectively to left-handers after pitching inside. And I contend that that's a huge part of it right now. He just doesn't have the confidence to do that, at least on appearances.
So Detweiler comes in with no margin for error. Bases loaded, and Greg Bird in the batter's box. Bethencourt smothered that. 1 ball, 1 strike. These are important starts for all of these young Brave starters, and there are a lot of them on this staff. Here we are approaching the end of August as the calendar moves towards September. The Braves want to see these kids start to take a few steps further forward as they try to formulate rotation plans for 2016. Right now, Williams Perez really scuffling. 31 earned runs in 31 innings over his last 5 starts off the DL. 2 balls and a strike from Detweiler.
Greg Bird was in AA and AAA last year for the Yankees, hit a total of 14 homers. This year, same thing, AA and AAA. 12 homers, combined .277 average, and he was called up right after he had been named the International League Player of the Week, so they got him when he was at his hottest.
He went around 2-2.
6'3", 215. Born in Memphis.
Here's the pitch. Detweiler wants the at-bat to end. 2-2. Missed. Full count. The Yankees have 5 hits. The Braves have issued 3 walks.
And 2 of those have scored so far.
Did he go? He did not. A bases loaded walk. Gardner will score. That's the 6th Yankee run, the 4th Yankee walk, and Bird has his 8th run batted in.
Well, at first blush, I thought he went. I thought he had a hard time checking his swing on that inside pitch. Obviously, Paul Nauert didn't believe so.
So Chase Headley stands in. The Yankee third baseman switch hits. He'll turn around right-handed. He's already got a 2-run double for the Yankees and has 52 runs batted in.
Well, and they have 6 runs generated after 2 are out and nobody on.
Nowhere near. 3 balls and a strike.
And a pitch count here where Headley could blow this game wide open in the 2nd inning.
Gregorius capped the first with a 3-run homer to right. He's next. Headley with his 2nd at bat of the game with the bases loaded. And he takes a walk. Headley has a 3 RBI night. All 7 runs belong to Williams Perez.
3 of them came on Gregorius' first at bat in the 1st inning. His 7th home run, a 3-run shot. The Yankees have more home runs that total at least 3 runs than any team in baseball.
Downstairs, ball 1. Cannot pitch behind the Yankees. Braves have done it all night. Since coming off the DL, Williams Perez has had a 9 earned run, 5 earned run, 4 earned run, 6 earned run, and tonight 7 earned run to start.
I really thought in that start, I think it was at Tampa Bay, where he went the complete game and got beat 2-0.
Yes.
Got no run support. I thought, okay, well, he's back on track despite the fact that he got shut out. I thought he had it all back together again.
There's a strike. Detweiler 14 pitches, 4 strikes. Ground ball through, base hit. 1 run scores. Throw coming to the plate. It's off target. It's dropped by Bethancourt, and the runners advance to 2nd and 3rd. Didi Gregorius has a 5 RBI night. We're only in the 2nd. It's 9-2 New York.
Just went with the pitch and were able to somehow thread it through there.
Didi Gregorius had 1 RBI since August 2nd. After the day off, he has 5 RBIs in his first 2 at bats tonight. And the Braves will walk Stephen Drew, load the bases again. And Tanaka, who started the inning, will bat for a 2nd time here in the 2nd inning.
He just got some instructions from Jeff Pentland, I believe, their hitting coach, and he probably was told, don't swing. Make him throw you a couple of strikes.
Fourth walk of the inning issued to the Yankees, and you can't defend that. So let's see if that was indeed the instruction for Masahiro Tanaka. Strike 1. Headley has 3 RBIs. Gregorius has a career high 5 RBIs. He's done that in his first 2 at bats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hey, swung.
Well, he took 1 strike. Then he thought he would tee off. 1 for 12 in his career in interleague play.
Look out. One ball, 2 strikes.
We're at the 1 hour mark.
We've just seen our 52nd pitch of the inning. And look at the Braves. Markakis and Maben and Simmons. Cap off, circling. Long defensive inning. Heavy legs. 4 runs in for New York. Runners go. And a dribbler down the third baseline. It is a foul ball, thankfully. That would have scored a run.
Bethancourt chased it down the line and was going to box out Adonis Garcia to keep him from trying to pick it up. He was going to make sure it rolled foul. Well, he's going to get position here. Get away from it, Garcia.
Jake O'Donnell with a whistle for a moving pick.
Adonis picked one of those up earlier in the homestand.
Swing and a miss. It took the Braves 54 pitches to get 3 outs. Career night for Didi Gregorius, and the Yankees lead by 7 again. MLB on Fox Sports 1 returns with a doubleheader as the Red Sox take on the East leading Mets. That's followed by the Yankees and Braves here at Turner Field. Our coverage starts tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern right here on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. No chance we can convince the Yankees for a do-over, I wouldn't think.
No, I just went walkabout for a minute.
Yeah, did you? Feel better?
No.
No? Me neither. But let's see if Atlanta can get something going against Tanaka again, who now leads by a 9-2 score. Didi Gregorius has homered, has singled, has knocked in 5 runs in the first 2 innings. Youth baseball teammate of Andrelton Simmons in Curacao. And guess who's coming to the plate for the first time? It is the Brave shortstop. Anderton with a .263 average will lead off. And he ducked under that one. 1 ball, no strikes. Simmons missed some time, as you know, with a right thumb sprain, suffered August 1st. He's got 15 hits since. And is batting .344 since returning to the lineup on August the 8th. Looks like a different guy at the plate. Two balls, no strikes. And Tanaka missed. Well, the ugly totals for Perez. Honesty compels us to report them to you. 8 earned runs, 5 hits, an inning and 2/3, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a homer. Tanaka paints again, full count. From 3-0 to a strikeout. Simmons is retired. There's out number 1. Let's check out the Yankees defensive lineup presented by CPI Security. If they have had an issue, it's been on the left side. Headley with 20 errors, Gregorius with 11. Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran can go get him in the outfield. Bird in for Teixeira at first. Headley at third. As we told you, McCann behind the plate with 6. And here's Detweiler trying to gobble up some innings for the Braves tonight. Ball, 2 strikes.
Tanaka won 99 games in the Japanese league before he came to the States. 99 and 35 with a .230 career ERA. 13 and 5 last year with the Yanks.
Well, you put his windup and Dice K's windup and shadow them. It looks very similar. He doesn't have the same kind of pause in the middle of his delivery that many of the Japanese pitchers have.
Yeah, it's a little smoother.
But he can just paint when he wants to, and he's gotten through the first inning and now starts to settle in. He's retired 4 straight back-to-back strikeouts in the Atlanta second, and we're back to the top of the order in Nick Markakis.
Well, it's funny how those strikes come easier when you lead 9-2.
Nick Markakis singled to start the game and scored the first Braves run. And takes a strike. A .299 lifetime average against New York. 191 hits now for Markakis. This is game number 162 in his career. against New York. So in a full season, 300 hits, or 300 hitter, 20 homers, 76 RBIs. For Markakis, who did the bulk of that work with the Orioles. Line out of play, foul. It's 1-2.
Nick has a swing for every count and every occasion and every type of pitcher. It's like you throw it and then I'll figure out how to hit it and where to hit it. He waits back beautifully and trusts his hands.
And Tanaka just struck out the side. All 3 strikeouts were looking right into the glove of catcher Brian McCann. We'll feature him when we come back.
Been my off season. I went to high school here. I mean, this city means a lot to me.
So far, it has been a happy homecoming for Brian McCann, making his first trip back here to Turner Field since leaving the team after the 2013 season, and had a chance to catch up with him before the game. And he talked about a lot of the coaches over here. A lot of the faces may change as far as his teammates, but he talked about the coaches teaching him the game here. He said, this is where I learned the game. It's where I learned how to win. And you heard him say how much it means for him to come back here and be in this stadium, even if it is a little strange, he admitted, being over in that other clubhouse, another dugout.
And it's strange to see him in the Yankee Road gray. But look, the economics of the situation were what they were. The Braves felt that they had a capable replacement on the way in Christian Bethancourt, who's behind the plate for Atlanta tonight. And while McCann is in the middle of his long-term, very lucrative and well-earned deal, Braves felt at the time their catcher of the future was Bethancourt. We'll see if indeed it works out that way, as Ellsbury gets hit by a pitch and Ross Detweiler is all over the place. And I mean all over the place. 3 walks and a hit batsman now.
Talking about Brian McCann, back to him. He and his wife Ashley still involved here in the Atlanta area in the Raleigh Foundation to raise money for childhood cancer research. They've raised over $5 million for the Raleigh Fund. Great work by both of them. So yes, Atlanta is still near and dear to their heart.
Gardner couldn't stop his swing. He's down a strike. He's lined out, singled, and scored already. Well, for the Yankees, who came to town really scuffling offensively, they've gotten healthy in a hurry in the first 2 innings tonight. A ran into a buzzsaw with the Houston Astros. They won 1-0, lost 15-1, and lost 6-2 in that 3-game series. And they need to get on a roll. The Yankees have dropped 7.5 games in the AL East standings to the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto is home tonight and clobbering the Tigers. That's 5-1 in the 7th.
I mean, we'll see how this series turns out, but I thought the Braves were catching the Yankees at the right time. They'd lost 4 of their last 6 series, 5 out of the last 7 games, and as you said, not hitting. But they got some gifts tonight. 6 walks.
Yeah, I was going to say, as Gardner pops one up foul. Don't really know how well the Yankees are hitting because of all the free passes.
6 walks, 4 of them have scored.
So right now the East a 2-team race.
Now Baltimore has really fallen off. They've lost 8 out of 10. They snapped their losing streak.
Fly ball foul off the bat of Gardner. The Yankees have 7 games left with Toronto. 4 at home, 3 on the road. The Yankees will finish up the season on the road in Baltimore. Braves have a chance to impact the East. We've got the Yankees and Blue Jays in town here in the final 6 weeks. Little tapper towards second. There's one. No chance for Simmons to get the speedy Gardner. And Ellsbury's forced out. And here comes Beltran, who's 2 for 2. An 11-game streak for Carlos Beltran. He too a switch hitter. And that missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. August has been the cruelest month so far for New York.
As we keep saying, they had the lowest batting average in baseball and horrible at bats with men in scoring position.
Out of play, foul by Beltran. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Been a while since the Yankees have reached postseason play. Their fans are antsy. 2012 was their last run in the playoffs. Ground ball toward third. Garcia bobbles, fires second one, and the turn of beauty. Atlanta completes the around the horn double play off the bat of Carlos Beltran. Braves bats go to work against Tanaka. They were struck out in order in the second. 5-4-3 sends us to the home third. doesn't like walks either. Bless her heart. Look at her. Oh. Trivia time. Masahiro Tanaka has won 13 games last season. Named the last Yankees righty with a 20-win season. That's our AT&T Uverse trivia question. The last Yankee right-handed pitcher with a 20-win season. Roger Clemens comes to mind.
Yeah,
for
me too.
That's probably too easy. Maben leads off. 9-2 New York. Swing and miss. Maben walked in the opening inning. Braves had him first and third with 2 outs. A couple of flyouts, though, ended the Braves rally. And this one is popped toward Bird at first. He's got it. There's the first out of the inning. Here's Freeman. Freddie has an RBI hit tonight. Big lead like this, Joe Girardi has the luxury, if the score stays like this, let Tanaka get his 5, be in line for the win, and then turn it over to his bullpen. The Yankees bullpen has been excellent. Fly ball center. Ellsbury back. He's still going back. He's not getting that, baby. It's a homer. First pitch swing by Freeman, who has a 2 RBI night.
Talking about Freddie kind of jamming himself. Got that foot down. Didn't look like he took his hands with him on this one. Oh, that had plenty of room.
Freddie's first homer since July 31st in Philadelphia. That came against David Buchanan, and the Braves edge closer. It's 9-3. Ground ball right side. Bird's got it. And he'll step on the bag for the second out. The point I'm making about Tanaka is, again, he's pitching with an elbow the Yankees are very, very concerned about and pay very close attention to. Innings you save in games like this are innings you can maybe utilize in the final weeks of the season or postseason play. And that's why the Yankees at one point were contemplating a 6-man rotation. And also why, whenever they can, they buy this man an extra day's worth of rest to get him back on the cycle that made him a star in Japan.
Well, and the injury to Sabathia, Pineda's been on the disabled list. I think he's just back off the DL. They've had a lot of concerns about their starting rotation, period.
1-0 count for Garcia. That's why some were surprised the Yankees didn't go after David Price, or couldn't get one of those big arms available and acquired at the trade deadline by others in the American League.
Well, there were some that would say that the reason the Yankees have had a bad August is because nothing happened July 30th or 31st to improve their ball club. That the team got a little flat after that, thinking, you know, Toronto improved drastically and we didn't get anybody.
One ball, 2 strikes. So from a player's perspective, that July 31st date is a big one, is it not?
Sure, it is
psychologically
for a team that's competing for a division title or a postseason spot. They like to know that everybody's on board to try to get better.
The Yankees could still make a deal, but it's a much more complicated process after the non-waiver trading period has expired. Two balls, 2 strikes. Gregorius at short, sliding stop, pretty play, and got his man. And Tanaka like that. The Braves get a home run from Freddie Freeman. He's got 2 of the Braves' 3 RBIs tonight. And after 3, it's the Yankees 9, Braves 3. Tonight's subject of our Home Depot tools from the dugout.
Players who have the most RBIs under the age of 26. Giancarlo Stanton has the most. Freddie Freeman's second. Stanton's about to come back. Is that correct? Did I read that?
A couple of days ago they were saying 7 to 10 days.
Oh, okay.
So we won't see him, I wouldn't think, when the Marlins are here, but we will see him down in Miami if he stays healthy when we conclude our final road trip of the regular season. Marlins are winning tonight, by the way. They're beating Max Scherzer 4-3. That game's in the 7th inning. Scherzer winless in August. Mets are up 2-0 on Boston. And downstairs for Brian McCann, 1 ball, no strikes.
That's almost funny to me because of the way the Nationals rearranged their rotation so that they would have some guys lined up for the Mets. Guess what? You got to beat these other teams too.
That was Bobby Cox's philosophy here, was it not?
Yeah.
What good does it do you to lose 3 to the Marlins if you beat the next team? Right?
Every game's important.
Nothing's gone right for the Nationals. They were so hopeful that Denard Span was going to come back and be a spark plug for them. He lasted all of 2 games before he went back to the disabled list. And Span's going to have season-ending hip surgery in his walk year. That's a shame. He's a good player. 2-2 for McCann. Shift on for him, and he hits it right out toward Jace Peterson. Has it, and McCann's retired, 1 out. Here's Greg Bird. He's walked twice, scored twice, and has driven in a run with a bases loaded pass. Mets tonight have Matt Harvey against Henry Owens. That game's in New York. Mets have won 7 straight games. How about their crazy win against the Phillies last night? Did you see the ricochet off Daniel Murphy's foot?
Yeah. Actually, it's off the pitcher's foot to Murphy.
That's right. Yep. Thank you. You're right. You're right. Wild deflection and then a great flip to first to get Francoeur. Bird strokes one towards center. Maven cuts it off to his left, and Greg's at first with a 1-out single.
And then another game, unfortunately for the Twins, down in Tampa Bay, where their young phenom, whose name escapes me, Sano, hits a ball off the highest ring of the stadium, and it's a double.
Stay hot.
And they lose by 1.
But what a job Paul Molitor's done with the Twins.
Yeah,
I mean, they're knocking at the door of the wild card.
I heard one of their players today talking about how their mindset has really evolved as the season goes along about what it takes to win, because they have a young team also. And a lot of that coming from Paul Molitor, of course, and from Torrey Hunter, what they've learned.
There's the wild card standings up to the moment. The Angels, don't forget about them. Baltimore fading, Tampa Bay trying to hang in, 2.5 games back. The AL wild card race is going to be a great one. Personally, I hope we have 6 teams finish with identical records, just to see how it all works out.
Yeah.
If he takes a letter I strike, it's 3-1. Generous call there, full count. And Headley went fishing, didn't get it. He's out number 2. That is Detweiler's second strikeout. And here's Didi Gregorius. This isn't the first time Didi Gregorius has been to this ballpark. Certainly not as a player. He was here with the Diamondbacks, if memory serves. He also came here as a kid. Andrew Jones brought some kids from Curacao, and Gregorius was one of them. As that's up and in. Susan Waldman, who's one of the broadcasters for the Yankees on their radio network, says that Gregorius keeps pictures on his phone of his trip to Atlanta, posted by Brave center fielder Andrew Jones.
What a big league thing to do by Andrew.
Ground ball right side. Peterson knocked it down. Throw to first. Pitcher to the bag late. Gregorius legs out an infield hit. He's 3 for 3. And Bird to second with 2 down. Ball was hit in a perfect spot.
Long way to go for Jace. Couldn't get much on the throw. Gregorius was going to win that race anyway.
Stephen Drew is the batter. The Yankees did make a move at the deadline. They got Dustin Ackley from the Mariners to try to upgrade their second base position. But almost immediately, Ackley went to the disabled list with a right lumbar strain.
See what?
It was termed a right lumbar strain. I don't know what a lumbar is.
Well, your lumbar area of your back.
That's it.
So, but that's kind of in a straight line. It's kind of a odd way to describe it.
Joe, I don't write the press releases. I just read them.
But that's the Buzzards' luck for the Yankees for the acquisition they made with Seattle. So Drew's been the guy. He's hit 15 homers. He's knocked in 35. Low batting average. 6 errors at second. And he's quickly behind 0-2 here. 9-3 New York. And a broken bat pop out of play foul. It's still 0-2.
Ackley's one of those guys that was a high draft pick by the Mariners that added it all up and ultimately cost Jack Zarincic his job today with the Mariners, their former general manager. They're in a search now for a new GM.
Yeah, Jack was there 7 years. The Mariners had 2 winning seasons, and he really did roll the dice with former Yankee Robinson Cano. Gave him a gigantic contract to lure him away from the Bronx. And for Jack Zduriencik, Cano had picked a bad year to have a bad year. No balls, 2 strikes for Stephen Drew. New bat in hand. And a tapper over the mound. Peterson's got it. He'll make the peg to first. And that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Home fourth coming up. Battle the Yankees. Ticket packs start as low as $25. Include your very own Braves superhero cape and inclusion in the pregame parade. Don't miss out on what will be a great day at the ballpark. Go to Braves.com/superhero today. Now, you can use the capes as a bib, or since one of us needs a haircut all the time, you can use it for a barber's cape, I guess. What do they call that?
An apron.
Yeah, barber's apron. That's it. So there it is.
It's multi-purpose.
And you know what? It's shaped perfectly for me. It is perfectly bell-bottom. That's what I love about this.
I
mean, it's perfect for my physique. Don't you think?
Almost. It's close enough, though.
Yes, it is. So there it is. Superhero Cape Day. Coming up on this Sunday, God willing. Tanaka leads 9-3 and ripped foul back by Jace Peterson.
Well, and don't forget, Halloween is just around the corner.
That's true. Now we have rules. Or let me rephrase that. You have very specific rules when we have Bark in the Park Day. No hats on dogs, right?
Yeah, that's cruel.
What about capes? Fly ball toward right center field. Ellsbury is going to gallop over, and he's under it. Has it, 1 out.
A cape is like a scarf, like a bandana that some people put on their dogs. That's okay as long as it's not covering up the whole dog and making them hot.
Yeah, well, look, a little sugar bean might have a little trouble with the cape.
Yeah, we couldn't get that thing tight enough.
But Tilly would go crazy, right?
She'd
like that.
Yeah, she would.
So superhero day at the ballpark on Sunday. Joe and I will be here for that.
And there is a Bark in the Park coming up, one left in September.
Is there? Okay, good. So
we'll keep you posted on that when that's coming up. All kinds of fun coming up in September.
No balls and a strike for Christian Bethancourt. And that's off the plate. Christian was robbed by Ellsbury in the first inning. Might be a totally different game had Ellsbury not tracked down his rifle shot to straightaway center.
Exactly right.
If Ellsbury doesn't catch it, the Braves score 2 more runs and it would have been a 5-4 game at the very least.
And he would have been at least at second.
And that missed outside. 2-1 your count. Rough night for Williams Perez. No sugarcoating that. He's in serious danger of dropping his 5th straight decision since coming off the DL. Little roller foul, and here's the first inning blast we're speaking of.
Yeah, 2 on 2 out. Already the Braves have fought back to 5-2. And this play by Ellsbury ended the inning. Terrific over the shoulder catch.
That's bounced off the plate foul. When you see Ellsbury in center, you see the number 22. In a few years, that might be the lowest available number left for the Yankees. They've retired just about everything. In fact, they just retired Jorge Posada's number 20. That was during their last homestand. I think 1 through 10, with the exception of 2, are all off the books.
Yeah, and 2 will be off the books at some point for Jeter.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Tanaka looks like a different pitcher after the first inning. He's got 4 strikeouts. And here's Andrelton Simmons, his first victim tonight. Tanaka doing his thing against the National League. He's 4-2 against the senior circuit. Leads big tonight. And he's ahead 0-1.
Tanaka's numbers for August are odd in that he's 2-2, but with a 3 ERA. And take a look at that whip. Less than 1 batter per inning pitched.
Headley cuts it off and throws out Simmons. And Tanaka is through 4 with a big lead, pitching to contact. 9-3. Yankees have the lead. Big crowd tonight here in Atlanta. Friday night fireworks interleague play with the Yankees making their lone visit to Turner Field, and the Bronx Bombers lived up to their nickname tonight. 5 runs in the first, 4 in the second. They've chased Williams Perez. Detweiler out after 2 1/3 innings of relief. And now Matt Marksberry is on to pitch against New York in the 5th.
Matt's been getting quite a bit of work lately. This will be his 14th game already since he got called up. Gave up a run the other night against Colorado in his 1 inning of work, mostly because of 3 walks. He was a little wild himself that night. I keep thinking he'll come out with some new specs too, but no. Gotta get the Costa people on that.
Tanaka leads off the Yankees 5th. He's 0 for 2, and Marksberry missed. Three balls, no strikes. Braves have so many new faces on their rosters, so many young players making their debuts this year. You can't help but wonder if they look over in the dugout, they see that interlocking NY logo, they see the big names on the front of the New York uniforms, and wonder, oh my goodness, I'm pitching against the New York Yankees, or I'm playing against the New York Yankees. Pop fly foul by Tanaka out of play. Point being, this is a very young, inexperienced Braves pitching staff. We knew that going in, and at times they've been brilliant. At times that youth has shown very, very clearly.
It's odd that the Yankees have actually had more make their debut this year than the Braves. One thing that walks the pitcher, the one thing that about that surprises me about the pitching staff is that their average age is less, and that's with CC Sabathia on their team.
Yeah. Yep, that is surprising. But if you figure Eovaldi, he's a kid, although he's pitched in the big leagues a while. Severino is very young. He's a kid that,
21, I think.
that they would not trade at the deadline. Tanaka, as you mentioned, is only 26. As another walk begins a Yankee inning. Fly ball to right. Markakis will catch that. And there's the first out. Ellsbury is retired. He's 0 for 3. And here's Mr. Gardner. Don't want to trail the Yankees late in the ball game. They have a dynamic, flame-throwing bullpen. Their pen has worked a lot of innings. But that's to take pressure off of, as we mentioned, the injured CC Sabathia and Masahiro Tanaka. Pitch to Gardner is sprayed to left. Swisher gives ground. He's got that. 2 down. And Tanaka back first. And here's Beltran. 2 hits and a double play for the Yankee right fielder Carlos Beltran.
You're right about those years he had with the Mets. It got off to kind of a rocky start because he had an injury-plagued first year, but after that he was having some great years back to back.
Yeah, with the Mets, first year in New York, you can understand not great numbers.
And a great contract at the time.
Right.
Huge numbers.
But in 2006, 275. In 140 games, he had 41 homers. And Beltran rolls out, and Mark Sperry works around a leadoff walk to the pitcher. Pitcher's spot due first for Atlanta, down 6.
Today, big moment at SunTrust Park as the first brick was officially laid. Special ceremony being held for the Braves' new home. Hank Aaron was there to help out, as was Freddie Freeman. They also put a time capsule in there. So a chance for fans to see that there is something happening out there, that we're getting closer. A lot of the Braves executives talked about this really being a tangible step to see the development and progress that's being made. John Schuerholz coming out and saying that this is going to be the most modern ballpark out there. It's going to have so many bells and whistles. And how cool was that to see not only Freddie Freeman, but Hank Aaron out there helping to lay the bricks.
You're right, Jen. The old and the new. You know, putting that that first brick in place. That was a nice thing. I love the time capsule too. That's great.
And the gentleman's name escapes me, but I believe they had a gentleman who was part of the Fulton County Stadium and Turner Field and now SunTrust Park involved.
Among the Masons?
Among the Masons,
really?
Yeah.
That's neat.
Eustace Morris is his
cool.
name. I beg your pardon. And as we see Ryan Lavarnway pinch hit for Mark Sperry here. In a 9-3 game, Braves up in the 5th inning. We look ahead to 2016 in what will be, hard to believe, the final season for the Braves at Turner Field. Wonder if they'll dig up home plate and take it to the new ballpark. Sure, they'll have some cool events planned to mark that occasion. As Lavarnway awaits a 1-1 pitch from Tanaka and fouls it at the plate. It's 1-2.
I know the night that they had the ceremony, the last game at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, last regular season game. That was phenomenal, the way they did that. It's dark, spotlights.
Lavarnway went around and he's rung up. There's strikeout number 5 for Tanaka. He's set down 6 straight after the Freddie Freeman homer.
You know, fog machine type thing, and people coming out of the fog from left field. That was incredible how wonderful that was.
Well, you know how hard the Braves have been working to get the alumni more and more involved in the franchise. Greg McMichael's done a terrific job with that. Think of the great players who have played in this baseball stadium for the Braves. All the incredible moments that we've seen, from Chipper Jones to John Smoltz, Javi Lopez, you name it. Andrew Jones, we talked about him earlier. Sure hope that they'll be here for the final game, whenever and against whomever it will be. As it is an exciting time. The Braves have been very vocal about what they're trying to do for the franchise, what the new ballpark will mean, and how competitive they hope they will be on opening day in 2017. One ball, one strike. Along the way, unfortunately, there will be nights like this. But it is part of the process, and you have to respect the willingness to stick with the program, as it were.
If you make a plan, even though there's some speed bumps along the way, you got to stick with it. If you believe in your heart that things had to be done this way, and I believe they did. There had to be a slate cleaning, if you will. And we can all look forward to seeing some of these names, seeing faces with the names that we've read so much about. Those are great seats, folks. Those outfield pavilion seats. That's right out there by the Braves bullpen looking in.
High hopper out toward Drew at second. He's got it, and the throw to first. There's the second out. Markakis is 1 for 3. Here's Maben. Maben's 0 for 1 with a walk.
The great thing about it is, from this perspective, and that's actually right out by center field, is being able to see the pitches almost like from a distance, but like our center field camera that we have every night. Watching the infield move and the outfielders move in particular. See what kind of jumps they get on balls off the bat. It's a great place to watch the game.
In the old days when we would walk to the bus at Dodger Stadium, I think I mentioned this to you last year, 2 years ago, before they reconfigured everything in LA. When you walk out on a major league outfield, in this case at Dodger Stadium, you'd walk out toward right center to get to the team buses. When you walk out there and you see that stadium and you see how much ground there is, it seems impossible that 3 men can cover that much territory.
Yeah, it's a big expanse.
It's just incredible. Tanaka hasn't had to use his outfielders much today. A lot of ground balls, a lot of strikeouts. 2-2.
He hasn't had to throw that split finger pitch very much either. You know, we showed you that whip, walks and hits per innings pitched in August, and it's below 1. Well, after the first inning, he's been right on that mark.
Cute foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes still for Cameron Maben. Tomorrow night is a Fox Sports 1 telecast. Joe and I will kick back and watch at home with you. Luis Severino and Matt Whistler will get the starting assignments. We're back with you Sunday afternoon for Julio Teheran and Nathan Eovaldi. Then the Marlins come in on Monday.
Now, tomorrow is a feature of 2 good young pitchers trying to get their feet under them. Of course, Matt Whistler's got 5 wins. Severino's got 1 and only 4 starts for him. But 2 guys who figure to be around for a long time going head to head. And then Teheran and Eovaldi, and Eovaldi's 13-2. 2 aces going at it on Sunday.
Maben tried to check a swing, could not, and that retires the side. Now it's a decision for Joe Girardi. Does Tanaka continue with a big lead? We shall find out shortly. 9-3 New York heading to the 6th.
Fox Sports celebrates celebrates 50 years of the Atlanta Braves.
Brian McCann in a Braves uniform. One of the baby Braves that got here in 2005 and changed the direction of this franchise. One of the great hitters in Atlanta history. Now applying his trade in New York with the Yankees. He scored a couple of runs tonight, part of a 9-run outburst in the first 2 frames. And Brian McCann celebrating a happy homecoming tonight is our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
His Atlanta ranks and hits over 1,000 with the Atlanta Braves. He's 6th on the all-time Atlanta list, 7th in homers, 4th in doubles, 6th in RBIs. That's some pretty good ranks for a guy with a team that has such a storied history of offense.
Brian McCann is perhaps in the middle of a Hall of Fame career. He's the 5th catcher in the modern era with at least 20 homers in 9 or more seasons, joining Mike Piazza and Johnny Bench, who did it 11 times, Yogi Berra 10 times, and Gary Carter 9. And he's the 3rd catcher to do that in 8 consecutive seasons. Only Mike Piazza and Yogi Berra did it. And he's the only catcher with 20 homers every year since 2008. He's got 22 now. Why is that such a big deal? Well, catcher is not usually considered to be an offensive position only because of the physical punishment that a catcher takes on a daily basis. Handling the staff and all the preparation that goes into that. It's thought of, you get offense from your catcher, it's a huge bonus. But 22 and 75 for Brian McCann, who backs away from Sugar Ray Maramon's 4th pitch of the inning. He's the 4th Atlanta pitcher tonight.
Position by position, if you compare the numbers and where a player ranks compared to other Hall of Fame members, then you are exactly right. Another leadoff walk.
3rd time Brian McCann has earned 3 walks in a game.
Detweiler came in and walked a guy, walked in a run. Marksberry came in and walked the pitcher, and now Maramon walks the first guy he sees. And there are marks that are considered automatic. You win 300 games, you're in the Hall of Fame. You get 3,000 hits, you're in the Hall of Fame. And then after those unofficial milestones, you start comparing guys to other players who are in the Hall of Fame and what their numbers were, and that's where you say, okay, well, Brian McCann's numbers are pretty favorable to some of those guys that are already in.
Yeah, if you're a catcher and you're compared favorably with Johnny Bench, how do you do better than that?
Yeah, you're not going to. He may not get 3,000 hits. So what are some of his other milestones? Okay. Then you see the consistency, and that's a huge thing for Brian.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ground ball slowly hit by Bird to second. There's one. Simmons with a strong arm. Double play. Marimon needed that. 2 outs. Well, obviously all those numbers are subjective, and the voters will have their say whenever Brian's career is over. But I suspect that in the ballpark in which he plays, he's going to have a chance to put up gigantic offensive numbers, assuming he stays healthy. Yankee Stadium is a great left-hand hitter's park. And New York hopes he gets hot and stays hot for them over the final 5-6 weeks. Here's Headley, 1 for 2. He's knocked in 3 runs. Sugar Ray Marimon is the cousin of Julio Teheran, who will pitch here on Sunday. That one in at the knees. 2 balls and a strike.
Good pitch. Good target from Bethancourt, and he hit the glove.
Sugar Ray was a starter for most of his time with the Gwinnett Braves. He started 14 games and pitched to a .331 earned run average. He went 7 innings on August the 20th. He made a 2-inning relief stint against the Rockies here on the 25th. The Braves would love to see him pick up a couple of innings, maybe even 3 if it works out that way. He's off to a good start in that regard. He gets the Yankees in the 6th. And the middle of the order coming up for Atlanta in a 9-3 score.
Ties to Atlanta, that they still run deep. Joe, you talked about his work with the Raleigh Foundation for Childhood Cancer Research. His home run challenge has raised over $25,000 this year. Every time he hits a home run, he raises just under $1,200 for Raleigh.
That's a great cause right there. And with Brian, he knows he's going to hit his share of home runs, and that could really add up over the course of the season.
So Tanaka's back to work for the Yankees.
I'm a little surprised. 84 pitches. Would have been easy to go 5 and fly.
Well, he's gone 6 or more in every start since July 3rd, when he took a no decision against the Tampa Bay Rays. He leads it 9-3 here in the home 6th. Good night for Freddie Freeman. He's 2 for 2 with a homer, and it's fouled off his foot. They're in the 9th inning in Washington. Marlins lead the Nationals 4-3. Mets have the bases loaded in the 7th, trailing the Red Sox 3-2. The Mets lead the Nationals by 6.5 games. Right toward Headley, who had Freeman played perfectly. Right into the shift, and Freddie's perfect night is over. 1 out.
Anywhere but there.
Right?
I mean, he hit there's one guy on the left side of the diamond, and Headley didn't even have to move.
Nine straight now retired by Tanaka. And here's Swisher 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and his 11th RBI. That came in the opening inning. Well, look at the target Brian McCann just gave Tanaka. His left shin guard was on the ground, and Brian almost flat as a pancake trying to make sure Tanaka got that ball low in the zone. Let's see if he does it again. Ground ball. Drew perfectly placed, and he gets Swisher. 2 outs.
Well, they have another coach. I was talking about Joe Girardi being a good mentor. They've got another guy over there who used to throw that leg down flat on the ground, Tony Pena.
Yeah, between Girardi and Pena, if you can't hone your catching skills, it can't be done. That's down the left field line and out of play. Joe Girardi played for the Cubs. I saw him before a game one time grab a new pair of shin guards and went to the bullpen and had Larry Rothschild stand about 15 feet away and throw balls in the dirt. And he would slide left, right on those shin guards, working on that butterfly save that a catcher has to make. You do that for 20-25 minutes at a time. When he was through, those shin guards looked like they'd been through 2 championship seasons. I mean, they were scuffed as scuffed could be. That's what made Joe such a terrific catcher, terrific leader. The Cubs, the Rockies, and of course the Yankees. In the air by Garcia to left, and Gardner should handle that can of corn, and Tanaka is rolling. He's retired 11 consecutive Braves, and we're off to the 7th.
Who's Tony Pena, you say? Well, if you were looking closely at the catcher who reacted to the crack of the bat from David Justice on that huge home run, it was that man, Tony Pena, first base coach for the Yankees now. Catchers know, just like hitters know, just like pitchers know. And I love Tony's reaction when that ball probably wasn't even out of the infield yet. He knew where it was going.
Didi Gregorius has had the night of his big league life tonight. 3 for 3. A 3-run homer with 2 outs in the first inning. A 2-run single in the second inning. A 5 RBI night. The most RBIs he's ever had in a major league game. Fly ball lifted toward right. Markakis sprinting near the track. He's going to have room. And Gregorius gave it a ride at Yankee Stadium. That's way out of here. But this is a bigger ballpark. Right at the 390 sign. Gregorius is the first out.
Even so, I thought it was out when he hit it.
Gregorius was acquired from the Diamondbacks after last season. 3-team deal.
This is a guy that's really struggled his last couple of years, and I'm not sure why, because Stephen Drew's a pretty good hitter. I know he had the bad injury with the ankle in Arizona that really waylaid him, but it has been an honest to goodness fight for him since.
Maben caught that. There's out number 2. Quickly, Joe, let's take a look at our Toyota tweet of the week. Who's your favorite former Braves player still playing today and why? Tweet us at Fox Sports South using hashtag former Brave, and your tweet could be read on the Braves Live post-game show. And Tanaka will hit for himself. So again, a couple of things in play for the Yankees. I would think, one, their bullpen works a lot of innings, but 2, they have to take tender loving care with Tanaka's elbow. Everything's just fine and dandy for him tonight. It would appear so. He's allowed just 4 hits.
No one warming up in their bullpen. I really thought that would be his last inning, and I thought, well, since they're short on their bench, they just let him hit for himself here with a nice lead.
Right.
But no one is warming up.
To third, Adonis has it, and the toss across in time. And Sugar Ray's doing a nice job as we have hit the 7th inning stretch. 9-3 Yankees in game 1. Traveling again next Wednesday. We'll head to Washington and try to spoil the Washington Nationals season with a big series at Nationals Park. 9-3 Yankees. They ambushed Williams Perez early and often tonight. The Braves right-hander gave up 8 earned runs in an inning and 2/3. And with that in mind, time for our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts.
Best in Major League Baseball for the Yankees when they lead after 6 innings. The Braves, the worst in Major League Baseball when they lead after 6. Yankees get even better after that. They're 57-2 after 7. And when they lead after 8, they are 64-0. Jason Shreve involved in the trade over the wintertime from the Braves to the Yankees that brought Manny Banuelos to Atlanta, has been an integral part of the end of their bullpen this year. He's done a good job for them in the 7th inning as a left-handed specialist.
Yeah, they've got 3 lefties down there, including Andrew Miller, whose stock really rose in the playoffs last year. So Jace Peterson leads off for Atlanta. We're in the 7th, and he swings the first pitch and skies it toward Ellsbury in center. He's going back. He's still going back. He's up against the wall, and he's got it for the first out. Ball is really flying at Turner Field, but that one just shy of the fence. 1 down.
Ellsbury plays pretty shallow, so he has a long way to go to catch a ball against the fence. This one stayed in the air a long time. He was a little slow breaking on it. It was not going to be a home run, but was definitely going to be off the wall if he hadn't gotten there. And as tough a luck as Jace has been hitting in lately, that's hard to take.
That would have been fun to see if Ellsbury could have caught up to that at Old Yankee Stadium before they move the fences in. See Ellsbury dodge around the monuments out there. No such luck for Peterson here in Atlanta, though, as Bethancourt bats. Tanaka's retired 12 in a row.
I remember watching a game of the week when I was young at the original Old Yankee Stadium. Monuments were still in play.
Into the shift. Drew had Bethancourt played perfectly.
And a ball got behind the monuments, and I remember watching Bobby Mercer climb through the monuments to try to go back there and get the ball.
Now, I don't remember did they look like headstones?
Yeah. Yeah, they were raised up off the ground. They were like, I don't know, like a granite base and then a tall headstone type thing, and they're side by side, 3 of them.
Could you imagine if someone hit one off?
Oh,
and where it would ricochet and rattle around and all that?
You would have to go about 454 feet to get there.
Right, yeah. And Simmons bats and swings the first pitch and skies this one toward Gardner in left center. Gardner on the run, can't get it. That'll bounce high off the wall, and Simmons doubles with 2 out. And that's the first Atlanta hit since Freeman's 3rd inning homer. And Michael Bourne, I believe, is going to grab a bat and come on and hit for Sugar Ray Marimo.
Andrelton continues his good hitting. That was a split finger pitch that didn't do anything. It just floated up there. And perfectly placed between 2 pretty good and certainly 2 fast outfielders.
Yeah, those obstacles in the outfield must have been an American League thing. Remember at Tiger Stadium, the flagpole in center was in play, wasn't it?
At 440 feet. And you pretty much took your life in your hands if you went all the way to the center field wall to get anything. Those fans up in the upper deck at Tiger Stadium.
Oh, at Tiger Stadium?
That's a rough bunch.
Yeah.
Oh.
0-1, your count for Bourne. And a check swing roller.
You know that sound that something makes like a bug or something flies by your ear and you hear it just kind of go, you know, right by you?
Yeah.
D-cell battery. Right by my ear.
Really?
Yeah. In Tiger Stadium. And the next series, the Brewers came into town, and Gorman Thomas walked off the field because they were throwing stuff at him.
Wow.
And they had to close it. Jim Campbell, president of the team, closed the center field bleachers because the Brewers basically walked off the field because Gorman was in danger.
No balls, 2 strikes. And strike three. Bourne's retired. Tanaka has retired 14 of 15 men with 7 strikeouts. And we're off to the 8th. For the Yankees, he's hitless tonight, but Joe, his defense is our Toyota key play of the game.
And the real key in the first inning, the Braves were about to make it 5-4 had he not hauled that one in. And just now off the bat of Jace Peterson took extra bases away from him with a nice catch crashing into the fence.
Gold Glover. And Ellsbury's had a nice night defensively for New York. He'll start the 8th inning and he'll face Andrew McCurahan. McCurahan is the 5th Braves pitcher to work tonight. Mark Sperry and Marimon, 3 scoreless innings of hitless relief.
Andrew only worked 1 game against Colorado. 1 inning, 2 walks, a strikeout, but no runs. He was in 3 of the 4 games against the Cubs.
First final is in the National League. The Marlins beat Washington 4-3 tonight. And the Phillies just knocked off San Diego. That's a 7-1 final in Philly. So who will have the back page headlines in New York tomorrow? The Yankees are winning. The Mets are tied 3-3 at home with the Red Sox. Off the knuckles, out of play, 1-2 your count. Nice to see a big crowd at the ballpark tonight. Expect good crowds all weekend. There are good tickets available tomorrow night and Sunday as well. Severino and Whistler tomorrow night. Eovaldi and Tehran on Sunday afternoon. 1-2 pitch is looped to short, and Simmons couldn't climb the ladder high enough, and Ellsbury's on the board with a hit. His first of the night.
Yeah, he hadn't been part of the fun with the Yankees offense. Those great defensive plays, and loops that one right over Anderson's head. You mentioned Whistler and Severino tomorrow. Severino came to the big leagues with a big splash. Their #1 pitching prospect. 23 innings pitched. He struck out 24 and just a .202 average against him in his first 4 starts.
Here's Gardner. The leadoff man has reached against every Braves pitcher in relief tonight.
That's right.
1 ball, no strikes. And that moved him off the plate. 2-0. Right there, 2 balls and a strike to Gardner. Nobody's up in the Yankees bullpen. Tanaka working on a 3-run 5-hit game for New York. As that missed badly. 3-1 your count. Heard the dulcet tones of Brad Hange announcing the attendance. Over 35,000 here tonight for game 1. Gardner swinging for the downs, fouled it away. 3-2 your count.
As mentioned about Gardner just kind of working his way into a full-time player. That happened about 2010. 5 homers that year, 7 the next, 8 homers in 2013. And last year, 17 homers. 265 career average coming in. And he's got 12 homers this year. Again, not with all due respect to Gardner and his ability, that short porch and right in Yankee Stadium certainly inviting to him too.
But I wonder if that takes away from what Gardner's main weapon is, or maybe should be, and that's his speed.
I think they've done. He did a good job of using his speed to the best of his ability, and then all of a sudden he's strong enough to start hitting homers.
Because that is the, darned if you do, darned if you don't argument. Yeah, you love the home runs, but if a guy with great speed starts hitting the ball in the air all the time, he can't utilize those legs if he's flying out.
And with the home runs of 5 and 7, he scored 97 runs, 87 runs. 2 years ago, 81. Last year, 87. And still a lot of stolen bases. 24 in 13, 21 last year.
And he's already scored 80 runs this year, including 1 tonight. Squibbed out towards short. Got to hurry to turn this one. Peterson across the bag. And there's the speed of Gardner. Hit it on the ground. And a force out is the first out of the 8th inning. He's at first in front of Carlos Beltran. College students, don't forget, every Thursday home game is college night. The next one's coming up Thursday, September 10th. It's Julio Teheran bobblehead night. Tickets are $20 each with $10 of added value included. You'll get to sit in the new college section. Students can run the bases after the game, and you heard that right. Students run the bases after the game on Thursday home games on college nights. Go to Braves.com/college now and get your tickets today. A strike to Carlos Beltran. Some big games out on the West Coast tonight in National League play. This one's lifted down the right field line. That's real trouble. Markakis will play it on a hop. The ball curling away from him. And Beltran in at second with a double. Gardner thought about rounding third and coming home, but he was red lighted, and they're at second and third with 1 out. And a chance for Brian McCann to pick up an RBI in his former home.
Right off the end of the bat. I don't think Beltran was sure that ball was going to stay fair. It did by quite a distance.
Well, that looked like a tough play for Nick. Slicing away from him, funny spin, and then the bounce toward the fence.
Right.
Heck of a job to stop Beltran at second as the infield comes in for McCann, who's walked 3 times in tonight's game. Ball 1.
Brian's one of those guys that's enjoyed hitting at New Yankee Stadium. His 2 years with the Bronx Bombers, 33 homers at home, 12 on the road out of his total of 45.
Ripped down the right field line, but pulled foul. It's 1-2. One more RBI for McCann will top his total for all of last season. He knocked in 75 runs in 140 games last year for New York. This is his 105th game this season. 1-2. And he just broke his bat.
Teixeira leads their team with 31 homers and leads their team in RBIs with 79. So, not counting tonight, they've been missing his bat in the lineup. Alex Rodriguez, 26 homers, 69 driven in. And then McCann with 22.
Saw Mark before the game getting treatment, or on his way to get treatment for that shin. You wouldn't recognize him physically. When he was here, he's still a very big, strong guy. He's almost wiry now. He totally changed his diet. Sugar-free, gluten-free, all that stuff. I mean, he is lithe and limber. And as you said, having a terrific offensive year. Fly ball, right field, deep. Markakis back, still going back. It is off the top of the wall and gone. Brian McCann is home in Atlanta, and he launched a 3-run bomb to right. .23rd home run for Brian McCann.
Fastball, middle of the plate, right on top of the fence, and then off the back wall. Why wouldn't he? Everybody else that has come back this year has done something to haunt the Braves.
Brian McCann did not hit a homer in his first game as a Brave. We're told he did it in his second game as a Brave. Angus looked that up for me a second ago. As the ball bounced up the middle, Simmons behind the bag and Freeman the stretch for the second out. And you know, Brian really had to enjoy that trip around the bases. A 12-3 Yankee lead. And another homer by a left-handed bat, which is something Joe pointed out in the early innings tonight.
Equals his home run total from last year and passes the RBI total.
Headley tries to split the gap in right center. Nick Markakis needs some oxygen. That's going to bounce into the stands. A ground rule double. #12th Yankee hit. Pair of former Padres talk at second base. Peterson and Headley. Pair of doubles for Chase. And here's that man again, Didi Gregorius.
You missed your opportunity. You told me before the game that as soon as Headley got to second, you were going to go, hey, that's Chase and Jace at second base. You had your chance and you didn't do it. I'll remind you tomorrow.
No, you won't. I won't be here.
Oh.
But there's always Sunday.
Yeah.
As that would constitute, as Jim Powell would say, that would constitute false hustle. Jim has the night off tonight, spending some time with his lovely wife Emmy and his beautiful daughters at his palatial estate in northern Atlanta tonight. 12-3 Yankees. 5 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the eighth. And up the middle, a base hit. Here comes Headley, and he will score. Didi Gregorius has driven home 6 runs in this game. He had 34 RBIs in total entering play tonight.
Up and out over the plate. Didn't hit it hard, but it happened to get to the outfield grass somehow.
It's 13-3 New York, and Stephen Drew is the batter. Memory serves, Dad had one of his funniest lines years ago talking about J.D. Drew when he was with the Braves. And as this pitch is in for a strike, he was talking about how lithe and limber and strong J.D. was and how flexible he was at the pro plate. Dad said,
that's because he's spent half his life dodging all the traffic cones and road construction down near Valdosta.
Hope J.D.'s doing well. And the rest of the Drew clan, I think they're still down in Hayhira, aren't they?
I would guess.
I wonder if that's close to Willacoochee and Greg and Carmen Walker. I'll bet Greg's watching tonight. Hope Walker's doing well. No balls, 2 strikes. And that paints the corner. And that ends the inning. It's Didi Gregorius' night for the Yankees. 6 RBIs for their shortstop, and New York leads by 10. Sox take on the Mets followed by the Yankees and the Braves. Our coverage starts tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern right here on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 13-3 Yankees. Big innings, the big problem. 2 4-run frames, 1 5-run frame for New York, which led 9-2 after an inning and a half. And this is Justin Wilson, one of 3 left-handers that Joe Girardi has at his disposal in relief for the Yankees.
4-0, 313, not too bad a year for Mr. Wilson. Chris Young checks into the game to left field. Gardner moves to center. Ellsbury's out of the game.
So Masahiro Tanaka, an excellent outing for the Yankees. And he had a huge lead to play with. But 3 runs, 5 hits, 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. Rough first inning, but then settled in. Allowed just 1 run over the final 6 he pitched in today's game. And I've got him for only 1 walk.
Yes,
Freeman.
that was the second batter of the game. Wilson, mid-90s fastball and a slider.
That went at 95. And it's 1-2 for Markakis. Maben and Freeman to follow.
Braves have some action in their bullpen. That's not surprising.
And there's up number 1. It's Johnny Gomes.
Don't go away.
Now you've done what we think Gomes is going to do in the 9th inning. What did you come in and just start throwing from the field, or did you have a chance to go to the bullpen and warm up?
I had to hustle down the bullpen just like he did. Both times, once in Old Comiskey Park and once in Kansas City.
So what's that? Obviously, it's not a good sign when a position player comes on to pitch. However, what is that moment like when the manager taps you on the shoulder, or you maybe volunteer and say, "Hey, give me a chance"?
Well, they had asked me early in the year if I'd be willing to do it, and I said yes, and it just didn't ever rear its ugly head until late in the season. So we were in Chicago playing the White Sox, getting thumped. Dick Hauser sent his pitching coach, Cloyd Boyert, former Brave, down to ask me if I'd be willing to pitch the 9th inning. I said, which is actually the bottom of the 8th in Chicago. I said, sure. I don't think I'd played in 2 weeks. I was wanting any action I could get.
He knew you were well rested.
Yeah.
Right.
So I hustled the bullpen, warmed up, and I pitched. I did give up a run. I got 2 outs on 2 pitches, but I hadn't thrown my curveball, so I had to work that in, and that got me in a little trouble. But anyway, 5 days later, we're in Kansas City. Cloyd Boyer comes down again. We're getting thumped by the Mariners, my old team. And Cloyd says, "Hey, buddy, could you go again?" I said, "Yeah." So I jumped up out to run down to the bullpen. He grabs me and goes, "Can you go 2?" So I pitched 2 innings in that stint.
And how did you recover after your relief stints?
Oh, it was good.
Yeah,
it was fine.
Because we saw Jeff Francoeur with the Phillies, of course, when he had that 40-pitch debacle, I guess. That
yeah, I didn't have that.
Because I asked Jeff, said, "How'd you do?" "Oh, I'm so sore."
Yeah, I was a lot more efficient.
Well, you get two outs on 2 pitches.
Yeah, yeah. I recorded a strikeout.
Who'd you get?
Spike Owen, Seattle.
And how'd that go over?
That was, well, I was kind of giving him a little, pistol shooting him as he was going
really?
back to the dugout. Oh yeah. I came in between innings because I had to go back out for another inning, and Gaylord Perry says, "You need anything?"
Did he really? That's great.
I said, "No, I'm fine." And he's got a towel, and he's fanning me with the towel in the dugout.
So Gaylord Perry asked you if you needed anything to load up the baseball. That is awesome. Two balls and a strike. Hey, Brian Woodrum has a good point. If Johnny Gomes comes in, wonder what his entrance music will be.
Oh, well, yeah, you can't come in anymore.
Right.
If you
You're
don't
right.
do something.
God, I hope it's Dancing Queen.
Yeah. My claim to fame is my 2 innings.
Right.
My 3 innings total. I gave up 1 run. Stay fair.
Freddie's trying to will it fair, and it just missed. 3-2.
3 innings, gave up 1 run. That's a 3 ERA. That's a better career ERA than Don Sutton.
That's right.
And he's in the Hall of Fame. Just saying.
Just saying.
You know, extrapolate mine out over.
How many hitters did you face? Do you remember? I don't have the numbers in front of me.
No, I don't know.
1 strikeout, or did you have more
Yes,
than 1?
1 strikeout. I gave up some hits, but only 1 run.
Any walks?
I think 1.
1?
2 walks.
So your whip was less than 1, which makes you a very effective relief pitcher.
I don't know about that.
No?
I don't know about that.
3-2.
We didn't worry about those things back then.
I just love the fact that Gaylord Perry asked you.
Yeah. I borrowed the late great Paul Splittorff. I borrowed his left shoe because it had a pitching toe on it. That helped. I was pretty decked out.
3-2 pitch. And foul back and out of play. This place will go crazy when they see Johnny Gomes come in. We've got Augie checking to see who the last position player was that pitched for the Braves. And we'll have that for you when we get to the 9th.
I don't remember if it's been in the last 24 years. I don't remember it.
And we're told it's been 26 years since that's happened. And we're going to keep you in suspense just to make sure that Johnny does come in.
Oh, he's on pins and needles down there. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's trying to stay loose. I will tell you this, it's an adrenaline rush. Going out there and standing on that mound.
And Freeman earns a walk. Wilson thought he had him struck out. A close pitch goes Freeman's way, and he's aboard with 2 outs. Where was this?
GNC Bank says it was off the plate. Nice try by Brian to Freeman. No such luck. And it's going to knock Wilson out of the game, apparently.
Brian Mitchell was up and throwing for the Yankees. He hasn't pitched in a long time. In fact, it's been 11 days for him. So for Joe Girardi, a chance to get some of his other bullpen men some game action in a low leverage situation. 13-3 your score. And the Mets come to town. The first 20,000 guests into Turner Field get a bobblehead featuring Julio Teheran, presented by Green Hospital. Get your tickets today by visiting Braves.com/tickets. Trivia time. Masahiro Tanaka won 13 games last year, named the last Yankee righty to record a 20-win season.
You're going to go with
I'll go Roger Clemens.
Okay, I'm going to go Mike Mussina.
Oh, that's a great call. And it is Mike Mussina. Yeah. Love that. Mike Mussina won 20 games for the Yankees.
In 08. Clemens did it in 01. David Cohn in 98.
So changes for the Yankees. Brian Mitchell on to pitch. New catcher for New York. As the first pitch sails home and misses outside. It is
Murphy.
John Ryan Murphy. And Brian McCann is playing first base. Mitchell hasn't pitched since August 17th against the Twins. He was the kid that was hit on a forehead by Eduardo Nunez and was placed on the 7-day concussion disabled list. He suffered a small nasal fracture. Threw 30 pitches in a simulated game in Tampa at the Yankees minor league complex on Tuesday. Talk about having to have courage. You come back and pitch in a big league game after you get hit in the head. Tip your cap to Brian Mitchell. Nick Swisher, 2 balls and a strike. And outside, it's 3-1. So Johnny Gomes now has a seat.
Yeah, he doesn't want to use it up.
Line to Gregorius. He's got it. And that will retire the side. We are through 8. It's the Yankees 13, Atlanta 3, and here he comes. Johnny Gomes comes galloping out of the Braves bullpen to try to finish this thing off tonight. This is great. The bullpen. Johnny Gomes doesn't need much adrenaline. Look at him. That is a Brahma bull coming out of the pen. Out of chute number 1. I love it.
I do too.
Huh. Even Johnny's smiling about it as Chris Young leads things off for New York. And his first pitch is a strike. 13 years in the big leagues.
He snatched to the return from
His first pitch was a strike. And it's popped up. Bethancourt over near the on deck circle. Can't get there, nor can Garcia.
Johnny snatched that ball back though from Bethancourt. Cracked me up. I can tell you this, hitters are going up there going, oh, Lord, please let me put it in play.
I was just going to ask you, it's fun and games for the pitcher, but the hitters don't want to be retired by a position player, do they?
No.
And Young won't be. A line drive home run on a 1-2 count. That just made him mad.
Somewhere I know John Smoltz is going, see, it ain't that easy. All right, tipped his cap to him.
Kind of looked at him too. Here's John Ryan Murphy. That pitch at 68 miles per hour. That's down the left field line, and that's a fair ball. So, Joe, you were right. You had good reason not to remember a position player pitching for Atlanta. You weren't here yet. It was 1989, and it was Josh Russell who fired a third of an inning.
Josh or John? I bet it was John. It was John Russell.
Was it John Russell?
Yeah.
So a homer and a double greets Johnny Gomes, and here's Brett Gardner. (14-3) New York. And now Gardner's in launch mode. That ball is off the fence. And Murphy stops at third. Gardner doubles. 3 hitters, 3 extra base hits. You know who really wants to pitch is Freddie Freeman. He would love to come in and pitch in a game like this.
Well, I can tell you the night that I pitched against Seattle, guys were bailing. Richie Zisk refused to go up there. He asked Del Crandall to take him out of the game because he did not want to face any possible embarrassment. So here's Brendan Ryan.
And that's in the seats foul. It's strike 1.
But also the Yankees are not.
Little flare. That's going to be caught by Maben. So Johnny Gomes has his first big league out. Call time, throw that ball in the dugout. You got Ryan, who, by the way, pitched a couple of innings himself in relief in that 15-1 blowout of the Yankees by the Astros. So he's the first victim.
So I'd say the Yankees not taking advantage of this situation after the double by Murphy. Then the double by Gardner. They didn't score. They're not trying to do anything to embarrass.
And the Braves, from a tactical standpoint, don't want to run through their bullpen tonight. And they let Johnny Gomes do something he's never ever done as a big league player. And now McCann with a fly ball to left. And Swisher will catch that. And the runner at third will tag and come home. Brian McCann has another RBI, a 4 RBI, 3 runs scored night. And that's out number 2 on the sacrifice fly. Gardner is still at second base. And Mitchell will hit for himself. This is a fun game for Joe Girardi, too. Former National League manager. He actually gets to do the double switch. He gets to manipulate the lineup card. He might feel a lot like Johnny Gomes tonight, back in a National League game.
I can tell you this, that if as a hitter, the plate will be quite wide. You better be hacking.
Oh, a little tee-out move. Look at that.
Strike him out, Johnny.
Oh, he did it again. Two balls, 2 strikes. Oh,
bring him up, Dana.
Johnny looking in the Yankee dugout. Check him out. 3-2 pitch.
There it is. And away, Johnny. I stand and applaud. A bright spot in a dismal night. 15-3 New York. Johnny Gomes works the night.
SunTrust save of the game.
On the corner, ring him up. Exit with a smile and a strikeout. He tossed the ball later to the guy who does the authentication so he could make it official.
So the last of the ninth for Atlanta. Adonis Garcia will start for the Braves. 15-3.
We got the ball. Mark it up.
Good work by Jen not to get hit too.
Well, she's got a 1-game streak going.
That's 1 ball, 1 strike. And foul away. Big news in Los Angeles tonight where the Cubs are playing. Vin Scully just announced he will be coming back for his 67th year. Wow. With the Dodgers organization. That is awesome news. Amazing man. And And a shot to short. Gregorius. Tricky hop. Backhand stab. Perfect throw. And McCann at first with the stretch. There's out number one. Braves fans, are you on the A-list? Become a 2016 A-list member today and get exclusive benefits customized to meet your needs. SunTrust Park seating priority is still being given to current A-list members, so become a member today to get closer to securing your seats for SunTrust Park in 2017. Go to Braves.com/A-list and join the list today. Jace Peterson, the batter, and ball one. Pirates beat the Rockies 5-3. Boston 6, Mets 3, bottom 10. Cubs and Dodgers scoreless with Clayton Kershaw on the mound for Los Angeles tonight. Giants and Cardinals no score in the third inning. The Giants still hopeful of chasing down the Dodgers out west. They're 2.5 back. Clayton Kershaw said the Dodgers need to play with a sense of panic or urgency. They've responded. They've won their last 3 games, but lost Yasiel Puig in the process. He injured his hamstring in their game against the Reds the other day.
Cardinals are playing better too. They had a rough series in San Diego, but took care of business in Arizona.
Outside, 3 balls and a strike for Jace Peterson.
This guy's got some easy gas too. Mitchell 95 to 97 with a curveball and a cutter.
Out of play, full count. Minnesota's winning tonight, 3-0 at home to Houston. That's in the 9th inning. Twins trying to make the wild card in the AL. They're a half game back of Los Angeles. Angels lost 3-1 to Cleveland today. Toronto beat the Tigers 5-3. So there'll be no blood in the AL East. The Yankees will remain 1 1/2 games behind the surging Toronto Blue Jays. Here's Bethancourt. Christian's 0 for 3 tonight. That's way outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Even if Boston wins, the Mets will still maintain their big lead in the East. But for Washington, what's problematic is it's another day off the regular season calendar. They do have a lot of games head to head with the Mets. As that one is swung on and missed and all the way to the screen. Peterson to second. Or are they saying it's a foul ball? No, it wasn't a foul ball. Peterson was almost about to walk to first base. Luckily he realized it was a pass ball.
Yeah, I'd wait for the umpire at second base to tell me to go back.
So that takes away the double play chance for New York. 1 ball, 1 strike. Line drive right field. That's a base hit. Peterson's going to be waved around third. The Yankees will concede the run. And Christian Bethancourt with an RBI single makes it a 15-4 game. Fans, watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widgets, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Popped up. At first base, Brian McCann is under. And he's got it for the second out.
I'm surprised he didn't reach up and knock his hat off trying to get his mask off.
He just about did by accident, didn't he? And here comes the nastiest right-hander we've seen out of the Braves bullpen tonight, Johnny Gomes.
Guarantee he's the best hitting pitcher we've seen tonight.
Mitchell's probably really mad. He's going to want to return the strikeout favor to Johnny Gomes and end the game. So Severino and Whistler, game 2 here tomorrow. We'll be on Fox Sports 1. Hopefully the Braves can get off to a better start. Key in this game tonight, Yankees scored the most first inning runs in Major League Baseball this year. Did it again tonight. And the frustrating part, Perez got the first 2 hitters relatively easily. Bases empty, 2 outs. Before you could blink an eye, the Yankees played at 5 runs and never looked back. The Braves have to be concerned about Williams Perez, who is not the same guy since coming off the disabled list. 34 earned runs in his last 31 innings pitched. Bouncer toward third. That's fair ball. Long throw, and McCann came off the bag. It's an infield hit for Johnny Gomes. He's pitched an inning. He's got a hit, and the game is still alive for Atlanta.
He deserved that. Went out there and took one for the team in the 9th inning. And they weren't going to get him anyway. Brian telling him, man, you did good stuff tonight, really. I was lucky to get that sacrifice fly.
Now you tell the story about Spike Owen after you struck him out. He sent you a gift, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. His bat. He sent me the bat that he used to strike out and signed it to me as the nastiest lefty in the league. I've still got it.
1 ball, no strikes.
High heater got him.
Really?
Oh yeah.
92. Little action on it.
Yeah. Riser 4-seamer. Craig Kimbrell like.
Yeah.
Had a pop on it.
One and one for Nick Markakis. You know, he'll grind out this at bat. He never gives one away. And he took a strike. Good pitch.
Braves got 2 runs in the bottom of the first to make it 5-2, and then with 2 out, nobody on in the 2nd inning, the Yankees put together 2 hits, make it 3 hits and 4 walks, and scored 4 more times, made it 9-2.
Yeah, 8 walks issued by the Braves tonight. Yankees hit 3 homers, and they racked up 16 hits. Only 2 Braves pitchers were not scored upon. That's Mark Sperry and Maramo, who worked 3 innings of 2-walk hitless ball. Didi Gregorius, a 6 RBI night. One ball, 2 strikes. In the air to center, and that's going to end the ball game. The Yankees have beaten the Braves handily, 15-4. Your final score tonight. Masahiro Tanaka wins his 10th. Williams Perez loses his 5th. Gregorius 6 RBIs, and oh yeah, Brian McCann in his homecoming to Atlanta, homer, 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored. And the Yankees' August miseries come to a big end in Atlanta tonight. 15-4 your final. We'll recap it for you in just a moment.